Welcome, everyone. This is Tuesday, and I have a very special guest with me. Mo, good morning. How are you doing this Tuesday? Any trades?
Good morning, everyone. I'm so appreciated and glad to be with you in the stream. Of course, I didn't do anything for two reasons. First reason, I already told Dee about it. It was
Yeah.
sick for 2 days, and I'm well now. Second reason, I don't trade this time of the day actually
Hmm.
because usually I am in the work and I never trade while I have other things in my mind, meetings. It's not healthy. It's not sustainable. Even if you make a good trade, you realize by end of day that you cannot do it anymore. So I usually don't trade this time of the day. I use this time to prepare for the remaining of the day.
Yeah, it's similar what I do because the funny thing about these streams, I always say, I mean, you've been in there. We were supposed to be doing like DAX trading, but that kind of didn't really work out. And then usually with metals, I don't do much for this time of day. I wait for the London Metal Exchange to start trading, and that's when there's more volume and a whole bunch of stuff starts happening. Otherwise, it can be a little bit like watching paint dry. So today I can see the equities are moving. They are moving. So Mo, what are you seeing here? So you're preparing for the day. Let's kind of go through that process because we always see you like either on fast markets or something. So there's not much prep going on. It's all just like trade, 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 right? So
Yeah.
so tell us how your prep looks like, or what it
Okay,
looks like.
because I trade indices, especially
Mm-hmm.
the ES. There is could be a good opportunity. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean if I don't trade this time, that means there is no opportunity. There is opportunity all the time. However, for me to be very focused, uh, I cannot be very focused every day.
Yeah.
But let's say today I would like to trade this market. Usually, these information are generated now until the open of the ES. So what I look at, first question I don't say where is the trend. The trend is very subjective if you look at from different time frame, which means that you can, and even if you know the trend, you still can counter trend and you can trade with the trend. So I'm
Absolutely.
not looking where is the trend. I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
who has control of the market. Just today, starting from the close of, let's say, Friday, because yesterday market is almost off.
Mm-hmm.
So from yesterday, the market was controlled by sellers. We can see that lower low without
Yeah.
any moving average, nothing. I just look at the naked chart here. Anyone can see from the start of the day until now, it's very clear. This one is very easy to recognize that sellers has control. I'm not saying a trend because if you
Yeah.
go like this, now we find ourselves in a range. So
Yeah.
it's not how I work with trend. I work who has control. Then the next question: what is the target for those who has control? We say sellers. Okay, sellers has control. Number one, what is their target? I usually identify the target looking to the price action cycle, which is channel. Then after channel, market tend to do leg one, which is after correction, leg
Mm-hmm.
one to test the low of that broken channel. So we have channel break, then leg one. So they achieved their leg one successfully. Then the market will look for leg two. Oh, we already achieved leg two. That
Mm-hmm.
means I don't know what's the target because the market is still going lower. So I go to the bigger price action cycle. It is the bigger price action cycle now. So that was the bigger channel, which is minor channel. That the first one was micro channel. This one is a minor channel, and there is a major channel as well. So now for the minor channel, we got our leg one successfully. And this is only one leg.
Yeah.
So that means we might have sometime another leg later on. Because this cycle, for a perfect, and there is a line between perfect cycle, not all, let's say perfect, let's say ideal price action cycle. For ideal price action cycle, we should have channel, leg one, and then leg two. But the question is, are all price action are ideal? No, because some price action get interrupted for news, for strong level, for bad reading of the chart. So for now, what I know, I have only one leg looking for second leg later on. And then I use my moving averages here in the 2000 tick chart to identify where could be the area that I will be interested to sell this market. So it is the similar. This is the channel. This is this one. Okay, so we have higher low, higher, we have a break, and that one was the leg one. Now, any area between the 21 moving average and the 50 moving average could be an area to look for a sell for the second leg. So I'm looking for a sell only now. This is how I prepare my mindset to attack the market through the day.
Attack the market.
Yeah. You have to attack, otherwise you will be defending all day.
Yeah, well, there's time for defense and then there's time for assault, right? So interesting that you say you don't see the trend. I'm similar. I don't think I necessarily subscribe to the idea of the trend. And primarily, like, I'm a metals and energy trader. So those markets, they don't tend to have as much sort of clean trends and obvious trends. They can go from range to 1 day up, then 1 day down, then 2 days up, then 1 day down, then another 2 days. Like, it's a lot more chaotic than some of the equities. So I actually prefer to teach people on commodities because of this double direction behavior that you have across the board in my products. So it really forces you to use that situational awareness and to not sort of get lost with ideas of trend or any kind of I call them like wishy-washy analysis. It's like, oh, I see a cup and handle, and I'm like, well, you might as well see a dragon sort of doing its business under the tree, right? It's like, it's not, how do you quantify that? And I'm a nerd, so I want to quantify as much as possible. So I'm always of the opinion that if you can pin some conditions that are repeatable, like time of day, same levels, like Asia high, Asia low, market profile, initial balance, like it's always going to be the same orientation level. It's just at different points every day. So that's kind of how I like to look at it. But trend, especially in my markets, if you try and do trending stuff, maybe on gold that might work, but across the board you try and trade anything else and you're going to be absolutely run over. So it's quite interesting. Now obviously I have a reliance on some options levels as well in the way I trade, which provides me potential areas where market makers might get involved. I suppose that would be a nice way to describe it. And then from day to day, the environment, like the gamma environment, changes. So if we're sort of in a positive gamma, that tends to be more controlled movement. And then that can change as well. So just to make this perfectly clear, it's not like, oh, now we're in a positive gamma and nothing will change. No, Trump starts talking, it can very quickly go straight into the opposite side. And then everything becomes super volatile. So we have to always be almost like on the defense, to just make sure that we don't attack the market at the times when things have just changed, either because of news or because of headline risk or, a release or, it could be anything really. But yeah, it's just interesting to hear you
Yeah, let
do
me let me
your.
let me talk same language with you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
pulling out this copper here.
Yeah.
We can apply the same thing. The only thing that I
Yeah.
changed is instead of doing 2000 tick chart,
Mm-hmm.
you can see it. I mean, you can
Yeah.
see if I do 2000 tick chart, there's
Yeah.
nothing every day, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day there is
Yeah.
only 2 candles, 3 candles. So that means you cannot do 2000 in copper. So I will go to 100
Yeah.
to see, do I see price action movement? Yes, you can see this. This is the channel, the same concept. This
Yeah.
is the channel that we have, and we have that break. And this break should not go higher than the channel. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's
Yeah.
it's it's, it's not
It's
a
not a
valid
channel.
channel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The price action is broken. So
Yeah.
now we have a valid price action. This is channel, and that was its leg one until
Mm-hmm.
here. Why I say here? Because already it touched the low
It
of the
touched the
broken
low.
channel. So
Yep.
that is the
Got it.
leg one. Look at the leg two,
Yep.
almost to the tick. I mean,
Yep.
they never closed below it.
Yep.
So now this price action is done. I
Yep.
don't work with it anymore. So I'll go for a bigger channel as long as sellers still have control. And now you can see we have an overshoot of that channel. Interesting. Overshoot. Look at this. this
Yep.
is not this
So
is
would you?
not coincidence.
No, but interestingly, would you have a strategy where if the channel gets reclaimed, because Coach Ray does that, he's like, well, if we're going away from the channel, he keeps going with it. But as soon as the price action reclaims the channel, for
Inside
him,
the
that would
channel, you
be,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Of course.
Would,
I mean, this is it now. Now I have the channel,
mm-hmm.
and this channel is never broken. But
Yeah.
what happened? There is an overshoot. I
Yeah.
call it overshoot of the channel. Now, either the price get inside and buyers have their control and go higher, or I will have a double overshoot similar to leg one and leg two.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So now we are at a decision area.
Yeah.
We can sell this. If this close below moving average, this is a sell with very tight stop loss. If I'm wrong, the price is inside. I don't want to be short anymore. But if I'm right, I have the chance to make another leg down, and we have a very nice risk to reward in this trade. Simple.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you know what you're looking at, everything looks looks simple. Oh, Robin is telling me I'm quiet. Okay, let me see if I can sort that.
But I don't trade copper, so otherwise
Yeah.
I would love to take this one. It looks very nice now.
Yeah, price action is price action. Copper can be amazing when it's moving, but when it's not moving, it's a really annoying. Really annoying product, because it can be super quiet for months sometimes, and you're like, oh, great. But the prime times to trade copper would be from about
Look at the dome.
March.
Look at the dome. It's not moving.
Yeah.
I will be dead.
Gold
watching
never moves. Gold never
Oh,
moves during this
oh,
time
one
of the
thing.
day. Yeah.
I can move the market,
Yeah. Let's move the market. Let's whack in 100 lots in there, and then we're gonna have one jolt, and then nothing, because that's So hopefully my sound is a little bit better now, Robin. I was messing around with my microphone over the weekend, so yeah. Okay, so what was I going to say? Yeah, so copper prime time to trade it would be from March till about June, and then July tends to be a bit weird, August as well, and then really October, November, and then halfway through December is when copper remains pretty liquid. In and around those times, like January tends to be quiet. And there is a reason for that. A lot of people go on holidays, on vacations, and not many people trade institutional size on copper, and naturally we don't see that much movement. But right now, I do expect things to start moving. Right now, I'm still in a bit of an observation mode, I suppose. Let me just bring my chart back up. In observation mode because I want to make sure that we do have some movement and some liquidity. The way I'm seeing copper, just having watched it like for a couple of years, I think this is still very quiet. And yes, we had some movement, but at this time of the day, it's a dead zone before the London Metal Exchange begins to trade. So very frequently you will see copper, gold, silver, platinum, they get stuck in this range for 2 hours. And then they wait for LME to start trading, and then everything kind of starts livening up again. So yeah, I'm going to be just waiting to see. I don't know why my value high is located there, because I think I was doing other things. Let me just make sure that all my levels are there. Yeah, so 58.90, that should be at. There we go. So Mo, what I don't think we ever talked about what you do outside of trading. Like, are you an engineer of any sort? Like, what is your background? I think people would be quite interested to know.
I am a computer engineer,
Hi.
graduated
There we
in
go.
2005. Hmm?
Yes, I knew that. I knew it was going to be something like that,
Yeah.
because of the way you are quite pedantic with your analysis and stuff. That is generally some sort of engineering involved, or computers and stuff.
Programming and
Yeah.
coding. Yeah, this is
Yes.
my life actually. I like programming and coding, and that was part of my life about 15 years doing that actually.
Mm.
Graduated in 2005, and I have my little shop of computer and network back then, before YouTube, before everything. I mean, that
Oh.
time I was early to the trend actually. I was very
Yeah.
early coming. And it happens that I worked in a bank. The
Right.
beginning, they wanted me to be an IT in their IT team, in the IT in the bank itself. And that actually was my condition during the interview. I told you, I'm not customer service. I'm not a teller. I cannot do banking stuff. So I would like to be an IT with you. I said, okay. Now you need to have this program. They call it future manager program, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Any new graduate, they have to go through 9 months of banking training,
Yeah.
everything. Even if you are IT, anything, you have to go through all the banking industry knowledge. So I said, yeah, and you have paid salary for all this time, and I liked it. So I went there. I visited all department in the bank, treasury, corporate, risk, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Compliance, legal, marketing, all of them. So even branches and teller, customer service. During that rotation, there is be a rotation by end of that program. Everyone's supposed to be allocated to a department for 2 weeks during that 2 months, the last 2 months. I started in treasury, where which is the money market. I mean, the global market, everything happened there. Buying stock market, you name it, bond, FX, which is forex. I started there. After 2 weeks, no, I'm not moving. So they didn't move me to any other department. Another 2 weeks, still there. I'm asking why I'm still here. I should do the rotation similar to my friends. And they said, actually, Treasury wanted you to stay more. All right,
Right.
stayed more. I did some small things with Excel. I was very, very strong in Excel.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, Excel wasn't, you don't find a lot of Excel people that can do programming. It's just not simple Excel plus and minus. No, it was coding in Excel itself, VB coding and etc. So they needed that in calculating their formulas and trading
Yeah,
combination.
their data sets are crazy, because my husband worked for a bank as a software architect for many years, from 2 or 3 big bulge bracket
Yeah.
banks, and the amount of of data that they deal with, it's like insane.
Yeah,
It's not like your
insane.
Excel, like, oh, you have like 100 cells. Like, it's not like that. It's sometimes multiple branches across the world, so they're all like doing interconnected projects, and it's an insane amount of information and data.
Information, and not only that, they have to analyze those information. They
Yeah,
have to do very complex calculation
yeah,
to get to certain results.
yeah.
So they found that talent on me and my passion. Sometimes I stay until 10 p.m. In the office just working on an Excel, because if you work on Excel and if you are expert there, you know that if you start working on simple project in Excel, you cannot just leave.
No.
You have to finish it, because if you come back tomorrow, you don't know where did you stop,
Yeah.
where was the last error that you found. You have to finish it before you leave. So I was passionate about that, and I like when I do something calculated and the result I can see it in the chart. It was amazing. They love it, especially the bond guys, where they calculate interest and very complicated formula. They gave me the formula, and I work on the data, and they show me in the morning, and they surprise, this is very. So they liked what I do. They like my talent, and they want to hold me with them. By the end of the 2 months with Treasury, the head of HR, I remember his name, he said, okay, Mohammed, I promised you that you will stay in IT before you start. But the Treasury, they wanted you by name. They usually don't say, give us that guy. We just give them anyone of the group. But they ask by your name. Do you want to go Treasury or you want to go IT? By end of the weekend, you go and pick your office. You have 2 offices now with us.
It's
I
amazing.
was so glad. And
Yeah.
when I asked everyone worked in banking, it's, are you stupid? Nobody will reject Treasury. Nobody.
Yeah.
You will work in a cost center, IT. It's a cost center. There is no profit there.
Yeah.
But if you work at Treasury, there is bonuses. You'll get offers from other banks. This is the future. Go there. And my uncle actually was working in another bank. He was about 20 years experience working in head of area of branches. He's this big guy there. He said, if Treasury called me to work as secretary now, I will go.
Yeah.
So don't miss. This is an opportunity, man. Opportunity doesn't stay for long.
How old are you at this point?
I was 25,
So
25.
very young. So very young.
Yeah, very young, 25. I
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
with them for 3 years. Before you know it, an offer comes to me from a bigger bank. I went there. I jumped after 5 years to a third bank and the fourth bank, working in trading. It's
Yeah.
trading. I was a trader there.
Amazing.
So,
So that
so
was
usually,
your
and this is, I'm sorry for that, but
yeah.
what you have studied doesn't mean that you have to work with the same
Oh
area.
yeah.
Your
Yeah.
talent,
Yeah.
your whatever you learn, it will help you with your passionate. Do whatever
Absolutely.
you have to
Yeah.
do, and don't think that I have to do what I love. No, don't do that to yourself. You are not in a luxury to choose what you love to work with. You have to do what you have to do until you have the luxury to choose what you love to do.
Yeah, there was a comedian. He was actually in that show Silicon Valley, and he's the Chinese
Yeah,
guy. Yeah, you remember the
I
Chinese
remember
guy
that.
who's like a terrible flatmate who won't move out and everything. He actually speaks really good English, and he is Chinese of like descent, but I can't remember whether he was like born there or whatever. But he was talking to his dad, and he said, "Oh, Dad, I wanna do this acting thing. I really love it." And he's like, "It's my passion." And he's like, "No, you don't do your passion. That's how you get homeless. Like you find real job." It's like you follow your passions and you get homeless. But find a real job. I was a musician for many, many years. So I started doing music professionally when I was super young. I was 14 years old, and I went into doing gigs and stuff. My dad had to come with me because I was underage, and that was my passion. However, over time, so I did that for 20 years, and in the meantime, when I got to about 27, 28, I just stopped seeing that potential, like traveling and gigging and never being home. It just got so tiring to me. And then, you get to your 30s and your energy levels are not quite there. And you're like, do I really want to be doing this for like the next however many decades are left? And I was looking for a way out. Didn't know what I was going to do, but I had a passing interest in the stock market. But I thought that you had to be a mathematician, and I sucked at math, not because I'm bad at it, but because it just didn't interest me. It turned out I was actually pretty good at maths, but because of my obsession with music, I never thought that was something that I could do until I met somebody, because I lived in the part of London where there's like a lot of traders. It's called the City. I was, if anyone knows London, I was not too far away from Canary Wharf. So naturally, I was like hanging around all of these bankers and traders and people from all all sorts of banking world. So I, obviously got to know quite a few of them. And one of them says to me, "Have you ever tried like trading?" And I was like, "What, me?" It's like, "What do you mean trading? Like I can't, do maths for the life of me." He said, "Well, it's not really like, yes, there's some calculations, but I reckon you have this natural intelligence that frankly most of the people that I work with don't have. So, you might want to get into it and just, look into it, see whether you like it." And I was like, "Well, okay, let's see what this is." So he actually took out his laptop and he showed me the candlestick chart first and foremost. It's like, well, just, some basic analysis just to go through it. And to me, it looked like music sheet. Like it looked like music notes. So it's like, what is this? I'd never seen a candlestick chart before in my life. So he said to me, you have levels, and then you have certain data, and then we kind of look at how the price reacts to that, and we look at a whole bunch of other stuff. And I thought to myself, this I need to know more. Like, what is this? So I go home and I get absolutely obsessed with finding everything about everything like yesterday. So with his help, I started looking at some swing trading strategies, and I loved it. I had a couple of moments where I'm like, oh, maybe this was a mistake or whatever. But then he made me go through 6 months of demo trading. He said, do not put any real money in. You need to make sure that you know what you're doing with the strategy. You need to put a stop loss. He took me through like the positioning, sizing, all of that. So I had a very good start in that regard, where a real trader told me what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. So I didn't necessarily have the same thing that many traders starting nowadays have, where they're alone, they're not really exposed to that industry, and they just go on the internet and try and pick up whatever they possibly can from like random YouTubers, right? And I think that's where my mindset never wandered to, oh yeah, should I gamble? And first of all, we didn't really have prop firms of the sort that we have now, where you're almost looking to pass these challenges in like 1 day, 2 days. Oh, no challenge at all. So I think that is not super good for the industry, because I think we were much better off if you knew. So I don't know when you went into online prop trading, but I've been with Topstep for like 10 years. And back then you needed like 7 to 10, no, it was 10 minimum days before you could even get funded. Yeah. So there's no point. Steps. Yeah. There's just no point sizing up if you know that even if you hit that one big day, you still have to trade for another 9 days before you get funded. It's like,
So
to
that
me, that
was
was so
helping
much better.
actually. Yes,
Yes,
it was
yes, it was
harder.
much
It
better.
was harder, but it was helping.
Much harder. But I think for consistency and survivability in the future funded accounts, that was better. Now, of course, we all know how the industry got competitive, and suddenly you had a million prop firms everywhere, and you have to change with the times. You can't just stick to, what was back then. But in the beginning, the challenges that prop firms had were just so hard, man. Like hitting a daily loss limit will lose you your account. that was that was the rule. At one point, they had this 50% drawdown from intraday profit would also lose your account. It was like so many stricter, like risk parameters than we have
Trading the
now.
news, trading the news.
No,
If you
no trading the news. Yeah, no trading the
and
news.
also
4 minutes
number of
before.
contracts. If you
Yeah,
accidentally traded more,
fail.
they,
Yeah,
yeah,
gone.
the system will
Fail.
accept it and it failed.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I do think that there's something to be said for getting a proper introduction into how things should be. And there's no one way when it comes to technical analysis or, looking at levels and stuff. That's like, there's 1,000 ways to do that, right? But when it comes to risk, to approaching, combines or XFAs and stuff, there is definitely a right way and there's the wrong way. And nearly always newer traders who are trying to pass as quickly as possible, to me, I don't think they have enough skills to last in any funded accounts. So what are your thoughts on that, Mo? So when did you go into online prop trading, and how are you finding the whole development of the online prop
Yeah,
market?
it was by accident actually when I find Topstep. Actually, this was my first prop trading. It was back in 2014. I mean, it's similar to your days, 10 days or
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
I was attending with Mind Muscle Academy, this guy called Richard Friesen. And during that summer campaign, there was a campaign for training. Some of the top step guys was there. I'm not sure who was that. I'm not sure. Is it Andres? I don't know who was that, but he introduced me to Topstep. I,
Right.
I I don't have that relation. We only meet at that room. We don't have Discord or anything. We just meet at that room. So I started there. It was tough, but I don't have money that time. This is the only way that I can learn to trade. My objective was to learn because I want. If I wanted to learn with my actual money, I have limited
Right.
times to fail, and I will quit
Yeah.
quickly,
Yeah.
and I will hate it actually. This is the problem, that if you lose your money trading and you are trying to learn, and you losing money will let you quit, because what
Yeah.
is this?
It's
No, I
it's
don't like it.
so
Nobody will encourage you to continue. It
it's
would be
soul
insane if,
destroying. Yeah, it's soul
yeah,
destroying.
if
You're
I
doing it with
if I
your own money. Yeah.
and at the time also, after some time in 2018, I started to be a coach, trainer for my friends. And if without Topstep, I couldn't tell them, try with your money. I couldn't, I cannot. Even if I'm good at trading, whatever, if you go to the trading itself, you'll suck at it. Even if you are good, if you understand
Absolutely.
every single word in the course, if you go apply it, it will not be the same. You will not see that pattern that you saw in the course.
No.
No, you will not see
No.
it. You will see something different. So having a prop firm helped me and my student to try and fail. Instead of try and fail twice and hit the market and exit, now you can try and fail 10 times, not 10,
Yeah.
100 times.
100 times. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it many times. And guess what? If you try and be good, you will get paid.
Yeah.
So wonderful. So I always come with that mindset to my student. Don't come to prop firm to make money.
Yeah.
Go to prop firm to learn.
To learn. Yes.
It's imagine that I own Topstep and I'm asking you to pay 6 months of combine without any payment. Nobody will pay you. You will take it. You will take
Yeah.
100%. You will take it. You are purchasing a course with $200 or more. So take it as part of the trading.
Yeah.
It's a budget that you allocate until you be successful, so you have your own portfolio. So come to prop firm. I came to prop firm to learn, not to make money. Actually, I was making money in stock market, whatever. But in prop firm, that wasn't my. Especially, it was too tough to be funded. You have to pass, as you said, 10 days, and then the next step,
The next
and then
step,
you have to
second space.
and then you have to purchase
Yeah.
Ninja Trader, you know, and you
Yeah.
have to fill a lot of forms. So for me, it was, you know, I don't care. I don't want to be funded. I just want to learn. I want to have this live data, you know, this
Live data. Yeah.
subscription. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, I have to pay for it anyway. So I
Yeah,
pay for it.
Ninja license is quite expensive. It's
Yeah, and data feed also. The
lifetime.
data feed cost
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
$60 a month. So
Yeah.
whatever. So I will pay. What is it? What is it? 400. I would do it. It was very expensive by then, by the way.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't 150 like today, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So come to prop firm in the mindset of learning, not in the mindset of making money.
Yeah.
If you start with that.
Yeah, I mean, if we put aside the trading part and we attach like another profession to the getting paid and stuff. So imagine somebody who is just starting medical school, right? So they started yesterday, and they're like, okay, I want to make like at least 500,000 doing surgeries on people. It's like nobody's going to let you touch them because you don't know what you're doing, right? It's like you just started. Yes, maybe you might be a talented doctor at some point, but today you're a student. You don't really know how to deal with high pressure situations. And to me, it's always interesting that trading, because it doesn't involve cutting into people or running a track or some kind of a perceived or like physically difficult thing, everybody thinks, oh yeah, it's just easy, click a few buttons and you make money. But what happens in between, you'll know, PBKC error, problem between keyboard and chair, that's where all the problems are, right? So for most traders, it's in your head. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if you can't hold your or if you can't emotionally regulate after a loss, that will completely derail you. Like no strategy is going to help there. So until you sort that part out, everything else is completely irrelevant. You're still sort of a noob in that department, in the emotional regulation part. And I don't think enough people know that. I think they see a lot of us, and we get a lot of criticism. I mean, I'm sure you've gotten a fair few as well. Every time we're live, they're like, oh, this is a shit trade. Oh, this is shit. It's like, yeah, you try and come on to a show, be funny, be engaging, try to find a good trade, make sure you manage
Be
the trade
careful with
properly.
what you're saying, thinking about what you're saying.
You're thinking about what you're saying because you have to be funny, you have to banter, you have to pay attention to what people around you are saying. None of that happens when you're by yourself, right? You have full focus, and when you're on doing anything on air, your focus is so divided between everything. You have Slack on one side, the video team wants you to adjust your camera, or it wants you, they're trying to adjust your audio, or somebody else is going, oh hey, we lost your charts, can we get back? It's like
and not only that, and if you are wanting to go long and the quota there want to go short, it's difficult to make a decision.
It's like, do I fade Dakota? Now what do I do? It's like, I don't have too much of that problem because for me, I trade different products. My problem when I was regularly on fast markets was that they were trading NQ. I'm not an NQ trader. It's like I trade NQ for power hour. During the show. Yeah, so. And I would still give them levels, but then I wouldn't be looking at my trade that I was planning out, so I would miss that. Like it's a whole like chaotic thing that I don't think people quite get how much of a chaos it is when you're trying to do a show and that all of these things are kicking up around you. You have conflicting informations if you are trading the same instrument, and then it's like, well, now if I go against one of the guests, are they going to think that I'm fading
what they're
them?
gonna say.
It's like, yeah, exactly. So you have that inner dialogue that is like completely assaulting you all the time. And, internet is the internet. That's fine. I actually love trolls. I think they are very interesting people because by and large, most of them are just coming off as really petty online.
Yeah.
So I don't mind them. I'm just like, yeah, man.
I learn from them actually. I learn from them. Sometimes
Yeah.
I did something stupid.
Mhm.
Not stupid. I mean, I think I tried to go long 3 times in a row,
Mhm.
and the third time wasn't necessary actually. So it was
Right.
some kind of emotion, and those chat they told me that you are emotional mode, so stop it. So I did.
That's
So
constructive. That's
yep.
constructive criticism. Yeah, yeah. It's the non-constructive ones that are hilarious. I get quite a few of them that just like I had this one guy who just used to come in here and just go, "D is a moron." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, well done, mate! Like that's just amazing."
Thank you. That means that I'm
Yeah,
doing right.
thank you. Yeah. So it's an interesting environment that we're in. But what I really like about us having Topstep and us having this amazing community is that I get to have a piece of the prop world that I kind of lost when we had COVID and we stopped working in offices. I know that some people have gone back to it, but the some of the prop firms that we used to be in on, they're just not even operating, or they're fully remote as well. So it's like everything has changed. And frankly, I used to love the can't say it this morning. The friendships and environment, too early for difficult words, apparently. Yeah, just to go into the office and have like crazy conversations that are sometimes very inappropriate, and then you hear a whole bunch of stuff and you laugh, and then you have a little gathering after work. So it was all like a very social environment, and I lost that. COVID was, I don't know how you took it. I mean, to me, it wasn't too difficult, but at the same time, the life changed so drastically that I was like, well, now what do I do? Like, I'm so bored.
My best days was in COVID.
Oh, no,
That
so is
was,
mine. My best year ever. Yeah.
I
No,
and I made a lot
was,
of money during that time. A
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
money during that time.
Same. It was literally the best year I've ever had as a trader. It was insane.
Even socially with my family, with my kids,
Oh,
it was
really?
lovely days.
Socially, to me, it was a bit strange because I had some things going on in my life that were very, very difficult. Like we lost our first dog because he was old, but then he ate something in the park, so that was super traumatic for everybody involved. Then we had to find another dog. Then 2 years into COVID, my dad got sick and ultimately passed away. So it was a weird time. But on the P&L side of things, it was high volatility, all the targets reaching in like 5 to 10 minutes, where normally I stay in for like 2-3 hours, right? So everything was happening at a quicker pace, and I loved it. It was great, but I was alone. I was like in my house, just Yes, I had my husband.
No,
And,
I wasn't alone. I wasn't. We have the Zoom was everywhere, So
see, I didn't really
Zoom was
do much
on
Zooming.
24/7. My Zoom and Telegram.
Really? Right.
Wasn't there Telegram at that time? I believe no Telegram. Yeah. So it was Zoom. We're using Zoom all day long, and Skype.
I wasn't.
Because I already had my community that time. I already have my coaching students and have a lot of people that we was trading together, learning together. So I wasn't. I was an office in the home, and this office was connected to Zoom 24/7. So screens shared. Yeah, and sometime you come out, is Ahmed still there? No, he left. He's sleeping, I think. So it was open, It was an open
Mo 24/7 channel of Mo, just Mo to going about his business.
Yeah, and Zoom wasn't free, but it was very cheap. I mean, 10 hosts, for $14, I think, a month. So you can have 100 people in the room. So That's
Yeah.
crazy.
See, yeah, I just started my community in 2019, and it was like towards the middle of 2019, I think, and then it took a while before I got that part up, and it wasn't really much of a plan. I kind of wanted to have it more as kind of like my legacy, because I wanted to share my knowledge in a way, but I also was looking for people to talk trades to. And every time I would try and talk it through, a lot of the people that I would be surrounded by, they didn't quite use the same concepts, or they didn't understand what I was trying to explain to them. So there was always that, like, wouldn't it be nice if we just had somebody that understands what I'm talking about? Like when I say, oh, Frankie fake out, or, post in my card, without me having to launch into a complete lecture about how and why and everything. So that's one of my reasons why I started the community. But it wasn't really up until I think the late 2020 to 2021 that I actually had people, and then it was easier. But having Topstep TV nowadays, I think it's so unique, because even if you're just by yourself, you can always tune into the YouTube channel, and you can you can chat. You have an instant community. You have banter on the screen.
Discord,
You
a lot
have
of people in Discord as well.
Discord is like 160,000 people now. It's
Yeah,
insane.
trading is
Yeah.
lonely. So
Yeah.
if you are alone, you will do a lot of stupid things.
Oh yeah,
If you have
absolutely.
somebody
Yeah.
around you, you will be much more careful. Even if you do
Yeah.
wrong, you will know beforehand that you are doing wrong.
Yeah.
So at least you know it's wrong.
Yeah. If you talk it through, even in just like, oh yeah, I'm thinking of going long, and you might find that some people will be like, oh, that's just stupid. Why you? But if you rationalize it, if you say, well, we've got this here and we've got that here, so I'm thinking long, and then you can discuss it with people. So just kind of give
Not
them some
only that, even
context.
if you decide to go long and somebody was talking about short, now you have both angles to look at it.
Do you think that's a
So
good
you
thing?
can you
Do
can
you
you
think
can
it's
decide
like,
where to place your stop, where is your target, because you know there is some other trader, not only in the chat. The chat is just a small sample of them.
yeah.
So there is some shorts are looking to this as a target. So let me make that as my stop higher a little bit. So
Yeah.
that's
Let me explain one similar situation. I have a student at the moment, and they're very good. So I was looking to short gold if it went over my quantitative extreme and then came back through it, basically reclaimed the level at the maximum statistical part of it's kind of like an ADR, but it's measured over a dynamic way of like tracking highs and tracking lows for the day, and then when one side gets exhausted, that means that the range for the day is pretty much done. So I was looking to go short, and gold sort of, and I entered into short, but gold sort of wicked down quite quickly, so they weren't able to get in on that. But then there was another level sort of inside the initial balance, which was like not too far away from that, and they actually took a long. So whilst I was going through a slight sort of not even a drawdown, because I was in with much higher, but I was waiting for a slightly bigger profit. They took the trade against me, and they actually skimmed 60 ticks in the opposite direction, and then I managed to get like my sort of 100 ticks. But it was quite interesting. It's like, well, we were on separate parts of the trade, and yet we both made money. That's something that's always going to fascinate me, that one person can be looking at another profit target. Maybe it's more of a scalp. You're looking for a slightly bigger chunk of the pie, and yet you both end up profitable. So it's like, anytime I hear somebody go, oh, this is a stupid idea, oh yeah, why are you doing that? Because you never know. It's like, you don't know how people are going to manage that trade. You don't know what they're looking for. Maybe it's a separate trade. And something like gold and NQ, they wick around so much.
different risk parameter. Maybe he's only one contract and he has top 100 points. Everybody is different.
Yeah, exactly. But my point is that inside the same move, you can actually both be right depending on when you enter and the
You know what?
timing that you
You,
plan.
you can be both wrong.
Yeah,
And that's more
absolutely.
interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you manage it
Yes.
poorly, you don't
Yeah,
take profit
yeah, yeah,
in the trade. Both of
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
didn't take profit, so your stops will be hit, both of you.
Mo always with the truth. It's like, yes, both can be right, but you can also be wrong. It's like,
Yeah.
don't forget. Oh, that's great. All right, let's have a look at chat. I'm kind of neglecting Bruno here, our moderator, because I haven't really looked at much. Okay. Oh, Discord, he's just told me that we have grown to 170,000, over 170,000 people on Discord now in Topstep. That is crazy. That's an insane amount of people.
Yeah, how many likes we have, by the way? So I
Oh,
know
I don't know.
should I come again or not?
God, Mohammed, do your thing. So every time you ask for likes, they seem to listen to you. So
Yeah, we want only 100, so we are
only
50. So let's
100. That's just half of the people clicking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go on.
yeah.
Caress the like button. Don't smash it. Don't smash it. We don't want to be aggressive. It's only Tuesday. We're just starting the week. So yeah, just caress the button. All right, let's have a look. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, now is the time to do it. I think we're having more of a conversation today, rather than active analysis and active trading. Laughter says gold had a big move down, so slow now. Understandable. Yeah. So gold. Let me switch to my chart quickly. Let's go to gold. So gold, like I've said many times before on this stream, it has this sort of a dead zone. This was a pretty good volume move down. So, if you can see, it actually increased in volume. Now we're sort of falling underneath that. Oops, they can't see that. Let me move us sideways. We have fallen below the volume moving average. So whenever that happens, that means that the volume is dropping off. So now the way I'm seeing this, we have a 30-minute chart here. I have a top of this range sitting around 35.51, and we have a bottom of this range sitting at 37.3. So if this is truly a range, we need to stay confined inside it. And then one of the setups that I like to do is once LME opens, which is in another hour and 10 minutes, I like to wait until this low is taken out and then to see whether the volume is following that breakout or not. Now, typically, if the volume is less than about 2.5 times the average, I will deem that a fake out, and I will actually trade against it with a view that we go back into the same range and maybe even pump it to the high all the way up here. That's where we came from. So that's definitely one side of the picture. Now, if they just continue to go higher on this lower volume, so be it, but I'm not interested in that. I do have some levels further down. I have GEX2, which can be a stabilizer in a positive gamma environment, which is what we're in on. 35.25 is one area. Then we have a whole bunch of open interest in options from 35.10 all the way down to 34.95. So if we do get down there, I don't think that's going to be a smooth move without some sort of a catalyst. So I would be expecting it to sort of settle in this range. That is if we have a true breakout at some point to the downside and we continue. But a lot of the days we have that false breakout, reversal, and then a full pullback to wherever it came from. That's just gold for you. And if we have one of the days when gold just keeps going up, up, and up, that could be a trade that actually lasts for the entire day. They just keep going. Maybe you get a little bit of a pullback for the COMEX settlement, like half an hour before, but generally it's just up, 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 and up. We'll see what sort of a day it is. I never guess. I just have orientation points and ideas and assumptions of what a proper breakout versus a false breakout will look like, and then I just observe. So that's the main thing. But yeah, gold certainly still moving, and out of all of the products, in metals especially, it's maintained its movement. Like if we look at how it's been moving on the daily, it's just been absolutely crazy. So settled in a range for a while, and then decided to start doing this. So do we want to fight this? Like, do we want to fight this? I don't. I don't know about other people, but I don't necessarily want to fight this unless it's very late in the day or I see the true break to the other side that is followed by volume. Otherwise, we'll be still looking to just, look for longs if longs present themselves. So, do you trade gold, Mo?
I used to, but as recent before this rally from the buyers in the last 1 year, the gold wasn't so interested to trade. I mean, it was rangy and it was, not good for my style.
Yeah, very wicky intraday. Yeah.
Until they started run away, now gold becomes more attractive. But I don't trade gold. I like to concentrate. Actually, I do horrible if I jump from market to market. I do.
Yeah.
I know myself.
It's good that you know yourself, because there are many people who look at a million things and they don't even have a proper strategy. So I'm like, well, what are you looking at? Like, what is the point of just jumping from 12 products?
For me, if I have a cat or a dog, and I'm good with that dog, doesn't mean that I will be good with all dogs. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
See, I have 8 dogs, and I don't know what.
You can. I think you can.
Yeah, I think I'm very good at focusing my attention at one for a particular strategy. I think that helps a lot because my way of observing price action is fairly systematic. There's a lot of discretion for the entry side of things, but I know the setup and playbook that I want to see. That's defined more than anything.
Some strategy is more generic than others, but my strategy is so specific.
Yeah.
For example, if I jump to any other market, I have to take my time to find what is the correct volume chart time frame. So as you can see, not all will work with 2000 tick chart. Yes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, fine. We can find something common with all markets. But if I'm using tick chart, so the tick chart cannot work with all of them. Moving averages. Some market behavior likes to correct to 21 moving average. Some of them no, to 50. Some of them to 9 only. So I have to take some time to give some time to the market that I want to trade in order to understand its behavior. Its price action is not all the same. I use that ES and NQ, they make channel, break, leg 1, leg 2 most of the time. But maybe if I go to gold, maybe only channel break and leg 1 only.
Yeah.
So I need to spend some time in order to trade that market.
Yeah, you say, I have a few things, but do remember that I've only traded energies and metals for 12 years. Yeah. So it's not like I've gone through, a whole bunch of weird metals. Like, let's trade aluminum or tin or this or that or nickel. Never looked at those charts, right? But I've traded gold and crude oil since 2012 really, but 2013 is when I went into prop.
Yeah, that doesn't mean if you trade multiple markets you are wrong. What I'm saying is my strategy, my way of trading cannot support moving. You have to understand whether your strategy can easily help you to trade other markets or not.
Yeah, mine is pretty, it's more like a framework, and then you fit specifics of the product into that framework. I suppose that would be a good way.
Maybe you need all the small changes and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not super Yeah, it's like for example, you use the specific tick chart. You need time to see. Like I just use a 30-minute time frame or a 20-minute time frame, depends on whether we're talking metals or energies, and that's it. And then you just have the open. You have the initial balance related to the exchanges that we do. Quantitative extremes are the same on every
And also your
chart.
personality. Your personality
Yeah.
is very important, because if you used to trade with NQ, and you are good at it, and then you jump to copper, I mean,
Oh yeah,
you will
totally
not be,
different. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it cannot help you.
It will be like, in comparison to NQ price action, copper is like watching paint dry. Even though it moves, and it moves in a very smooth way when it's moving, if somebody's expecting that you're going to make like 200 ticks in the space of 30 minutes, that's not happening on copper unless something very unusual is going
Which
on,
will
and then it's
lead
going to
you,
jump.
which will lead you to increase size
Yeah.
in order to meet that expectation. So,
Yeah.
and that's wrong.
Yeah. But then you increase size, and then copper does copper things because it's a very thin product. So somebody says something about tariffs, and it jumps 1,800 ticks in like that. And then you're like,
Yeah.
or it falls. It's the same thing. So you have to know how the thin markets behave. And NQ is thin, but it's thin in a different way. Like it's got a lot of prices, and you can see 100 prices on Topstep as well. So it's a different sort of thin. It's very liquid, but at any price point, there are people willing to pick up orders, and there's quite a few of them. On copper, it's like if you look at my dome, and we go to full copper, you will see that it's a very different story. It's like, I don't have NQ on my live here, but I do. Obviously, you can tell the. Maybe I can hold on. Maybe I can go to sim because I have full.
I have NQ
Dome
if you
there.
want.
Do you have the full? But you have level 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
tried, because at the
Yeah.
beginning of
So
the month.
let's have a look at NQ. Then you'll see what I mean. You see, so it is like small number of contracts, but there's like a ton of them everywhere, right? And it just keeps going. And this is an out of hours market now for NQ. So a lot of contracts, right? And then you go to copper. So I'm going to change to my screen. And you can see, first of all, we are only 10 deep. And what do we have? Well, we have a hole immediately. So it's like 2, then nothing, then 1, then 3. So imagine somebody coming in with like 400 or 4,000 lots. What's going to happen? It's just going to chew through the entirety of the order book, either side, right? Whatever side they want to express their position, it will amplify the move, like to a 100th degree, never mind 10th, right? That's why we saw a huge smash down. You can even see it on the weekly on copper. Look at that. Like, what is that? And you think, oh yeah, no, that happened over the week. No, that was like one day. So if I go back, so let's make this bigger. And it was also, yeah. So one day, but not even one day. It was like literally one very quick move. So
Really?
it was crazy. So, quiet, nothing's happening, whoosh. And you're like, what is that?
What was that?
Yeah. It was something about the tariffs. There it is. So this is a 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart. And if I keep going lower, you will see.
It's 1 minute.
Yeah, it literally happened within maybe like a 3-minute period. All of this. So it can be monstrous because of the low liquidity. And if you don't know that about copper, and you see that and you're like, whoa, let me make a lot of money. No, they just smashed it down, and that was the end of the move. There was nothing else. No pullback, no continuation, nothing. It's just as if they just smacked in that big order and went home. So they went to the pub or something. It's like, yes, we made money. Let's go. And everybody was still scratching their heads. Even Linda Rashke posted. It's like, oh, was this a fat finger? Like, what But we've never really recovered from this. So I'm guessing it was probably real. It was a real order. Why? How? Nobody will know. But it was due to the copper tariffs being introduced, and it's like, oh yeah, copper tariffs are going live like tomorrow or something. And it never really recovered. We're still inside that range. So I'm eagerly awaiting for copper to do something and to actually either start chewing through those single prints or to do a continuation. And right now we're not really doing much of anything, to be honest. We're still in that same area.
Yeah,
So
some
until
people are
that changes, I think we're in a dangerous spot for copper. I need somebody to initiate something either into the weak structure that we left behind because of that drop, or to start going even
continue.
lower. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's an interesting product, but it can be a little bit temperamental at times. So Alex wants to know, where do you live, Mohammed?
I'm living in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, capital of Saudi Arabia. Here we go.
Is it still warm there now?
It's getting better actually. We are around 85. It's 40, maybe 40 degree, 38
Yeah.
degree.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
I used to do gigs in Dubai and in Doha, in Qatar. So
When?
yeah, so I did the New Year's in Dubai, and then we did quite a few gigs in Doha. So that's also very, very warm. Even when we went in like December, it was still like 24, 25 degrees and stuff. It was all in
Really?
hotels. Yeah, it was all in hotels.
It's the best time in Dubai, by the way. Best time
Yeah.
in the region.
It was
Actually,
very pleasant, very pleasant. You could still sunbathe.
October, November, December,
Yeah.
maybe January. But after
Yeah.
that, it will start to be very, very cold. It's desert also.
Really?
It's cold in winter.
So when you say cold, how cold are we talking? Let's talk Celsius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be -5, -2, some
Really?
outside, not in the city. In the city,
Yeah.
in the city it could be
Wow.
3 degree. But the problem is not only it's cold. The problem it's very dry cold. The windy. You will get sick immediately.
Yeah.
So I mean, the coldness in Europe, in Canada, it's fine. You can live with that because it's some kind of humidity with it.
Yeah.
It's not
But when
dry.
it's dry, it's a different
Yeah,
kind of
it's
cold.
dry.
Yeah.
It's very risky actually. It's
So
very,
on the other side, UK heat and summers have a lot of humidity. So that is not like, when I say, oh my God, we're going through a heat wave in the UK, it's disgusting, it's really hot, like we can't breathe. And some Texans are going, oh, what, like 30 degrees? That's like, yeah, we have like 40 and 45 degrees. Like you know nothing. And you guys complain. And then some of them come over to London and they're like, what is this hell? Why?
yeah, because the sun is
humidity.
closer.
Sun is closer. The humidity is horrible. It's like you have 30 degrees and like 78% humidity.
No
It's like,
oxygen. Yeah, no oxygen.
disgusting. Yeah, and I can't explain that to some people who have never experienced it, because I come from a Mediterranean place. I grew up in Serbia. It's a Mediterranean climate, and it's pleasant in the sun. I've done 42 degrees in Mediterranean dry heat, very nice, very pleasant. But then, like in your country, we have cold that really kind of starts feeling really cold at like 5 degrees, but then 0, -5, you feel like your face is gonna fall off. And it's the wind. It's like a whole bunch of stuff. You get this like wind burn on your face. It's like a really bizarre thing. And yet in the UK, it's cold, it's wet, but there's none of that feeling of your face freezing. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it. And yet it gets to like 0, -3. It's not the same. So it's not the same heat. It's very, very dependent on where you are geographically.
And also, it depends on what you used to. Because if you used to live in a cold area, that you can survive with a colder area.
Yeah.
But if you used to live in a cold area and you get some hot weather, you cannot.
Yeah.
I mean, if my
Yeah.
point, because we used to be in a hot place. So if it's 50, fine, we can live with that.
Yeah. It took me probably, I don't know, about 10 years to work out how to dress in the UK. Because back home, you would either be in like big jumpers or you would be just summer wear. So there was nothing in the middle. But in the UK, have you ever been to UK? Well,
Yeah, I have been in
yeah,
London
yeah.
for
So
COVID 1 year. Yeah.
right. So there is this weirdness about London weather where you think it's cold, so you dress up, and then you start walking, and you're boiling. You're like
Yeah,
about to like
yeah.
sort of roast. And it took me forever to work out that, it's just their climate, and it initially feels cold, but ultimately it's not that cold once you start moving. So layering is key. So whoever is struggling with like UK weather, layering is key, so that you can, sort of start in a coat, a cardigan, and some
Yeah.
kind of a shirt, but then you can take off the coat if it gets hot.
Yeah, don't wear thermal.
Don't
Never.
wear thermal. Thermals are not the thing in the UK. You're going to boil yourself to death. It's hilarious. And it took me years to work that out. So now I'm like, I've got it. So anytime a friend comes over and they're either freezing or they're too hot, excuse me, I've got frogs in my throat. I always say layering, get a cardigan. And they're like, cardigan? What are we, like 70? I'm like, no, trust me. Cardigans are key in the UK, 100%. All right, let's have a
Yeah.
little scan through the markets. Ooh, what is crude oil doing? Hold on.
I see ES is trying to start its second leg. Very slow.
Like down?
Yeah. It started to push lower now.
Right, okay.
The setup here.
DAX is not really following that. So, because I trade DAX in and around this time of the day, and
No, I
sometimes
don't.
they follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you can see here, whenever you want to sell down, sometimes it's selling low. We are selling low.
Yeah.
You like it or not. This is selling low. So if you want to sell low and feel more comfortable, wait for buyers to try and fail. So now, until this high, they are trying and successful, trying and successful, trying and successful. Now they start to try and they fail the first time. Wait them for try again. Once they fail again, now you jump with them. So
Would you ever use fibs? Have you used fibs before?
Fibs, yeah, 100%. I use it whenever I see a strong move. Similar to this one, we have a strong move here. Nobody can say anything else other than this is spike down.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it's a spike. No, you will not find two people arguing about it. It's a spike.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if that is the case, now you take the fib from there to there.
Yeah.
And the simple rule, I always highlighted the 50 and 61. My rule is whenever the market is below this area, we're gonna continue.
Yeah.
If we are higher than this area, this spike will fail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
this
a very
spike
good
will fail.
rule.
Inside here, you are literally in the middle. Don't
line in the sand. Yeah.
50-50.
Yeah. See, this is another thing when I notice people who are flipping, I call it flipping and flopping, right? You have a level that is a line in the sand of some sort, and then they start going long, they're going short, they're going long, they're going short, they're going like all in the same sort of zone.
Part of their mind is say we're gonna go there.
Yeah. But the other part is saying, oh, it didn't happen quick enough, so let me maybe change my direction.
Yeah,
they
will say they failed to go there. That means it's very strong, so let's go down.
Yeah, yeah. So did you ever struggle with that? Because I still struggle with it in very quiet environments where I'm like,
I did whenever I used multiple time frame. When you do multiple time frame, you will find yourself tilted.
Yeah. So I don't really use multiple timeframes for actual entries, and sometimes to me it's just a matter of no time frame, right? So I'm just looking at bookmap and volume, and then
Mhm.
already have an assumption of where we should go because I have a playbook that's attached to whatever's happening. But what I struggle with sometimes, not always, but sometimes, is when everything's super quiet. This is why I used to go on holiday, on vacations in August, because I don't like August price action in any of my products. And
Mhm.
I would get into a trade, and then it's like 5 ticks up, minus 5 ticks, 5 ticks up, minus, and then it just kind of continues and continues. So I leave it alone. So I come back after 30 minutes. It's still doing it. And instead, some days, instead of closing it and just going, I'll eat up the damn minus 10 ticks and, just go about my day. No, I just go, let me just get those 10 ticks back. Famous last words. And that
Yeah.
sometimes that puts me on tilts. I'm very aware of that, and I know the points when my game slips from A game to C game purely on that account. But I just wonder whether we can talk about how. So how do you prevent yourself from doing that? Do you just stick
Yeah.
to one time frame? Do you look at a particular price
No, no, no,
action to
no, no, no.
tell
I,
you?
I use I use multiple time frame.
Mm-hmm.
However, when I see this level like this, I
Yeah.
say I will stick to the short bias as long as we are below this area.
Yeah.
Doesn't
So
mean
what?
that I have to wait until it touch there. It shouldn't. Maybe
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it will not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Because it's going
if
down.
there is
Yeah.
a trade, it should be a short.
So
Otherwise, I'm
so
not
do you
interested in
trade?
buying.
So hypothetically, if you are sitting inside the zone that is
Inside.
effectively, yeah. So let's say we get all the way up there, and it starts to spend some time there. What is
Mhm.
your criteria to flip to the other side? Is it like candle having to close outside of it to the upside, or is it definitely like? Do you have anything specific that you
Yes,
want to
it
see?
is. It is my volume tick chart now. It comes to play.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If the market goes up here, that means we have buyers having control right now.
Mm-hmm.
If the market goes up to that area, by that time the buyers would have control in this time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Now I look to my price action cycle here, waiting for the break for the second leg probably, because the first leg might maybe it's still inside here. So
Yeah.
the second leg probably will be taking us outside of that time frame
Mm-hmm.
of that area. So I use volume tick chart to give me the entry point. I use the time frame to give me the levels that I am interested to take a
Yeah.
trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here, for example, I'm still interested in the short.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if
Yeah.
I look to the volume tick chart, I see there is a nice short signal.
Yeah.
This is my signal. So I will take the short. My stop will be here. So the question now, is this stop good for me or bad for me? How many points that we need,
Risk. Yeah.
how many risks that we need to
Mm-hmm.
take for this trade to work on? This will be the stop. At least I should take 1 to 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
Another important, do I have room
Do
before
you
that
have
low?
room? Yeah. 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 I look at
So
the
I
same
have
thing. Yeah.
room. I have to risk 6 points. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But I will not do it because this is not my favorable time
Time
to
of
trade.
day.
But you don't want to take a
Absolutely.
trade
Yeah.
and watch it until afternoon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah. No,
would say,
I'm totally down with that because again, London this early is very difficult for equities. Like this is why I wanted us
and
to
we
get
have an
DAX
open.
because
Maybe the US Open will come and destroy everything.
exactly. Yeah. So anytime you have the next session, you do have this inter-session behavior that fades the previous session. So this is why we see those tests of the overnight low, then they take it out, and then everything reverses and goes back the other way. And you're like, oh, that was a fake. This is why I have a way to figure out whether it's a false breakout or a true break by looking at the volume and how price action is behaving post the breakout. I think that you have a pretty robust way of looking at the market, and you are incredibly entertaining. Every time I watch you, I'm
Yeah.
always like, Mo is on. I've got
We'll have
I'm
another
gonna
session to
watch.
watch. to talk about my negatives now. So because I have a lot of negatives, I would
I
like to
think we
discuss.
all do. I think we all do. And if you're not aware of them as a trader, I think that's the wrong path to be on. Because nobody's born perfect. You know, nobody's born like, yes, I was born to be a trader. You come out of the womb and you're like, meh, it's
Yeah,
candlesticks. It's like nobody does that, right? We're all there with our Muppet moments, with our hang-ups, with our childhood traumas, with, you know, everything
actually, trading is a reverse way of how human is thinking. You know, so
yeah,
if it comes
completely
to that,
reverse. Yeah,
it's very
completely
different
reverse.
than
Yeah.
what
More
we used.
hours doesn't mean more money. Longer, more trades also doesn't mean more money. Shorter trades can bring you a windfall.
Less
Like
is more.
less is more. Yeah. It's completely the opposite to everything that everybody has
Best
ever taught you.
user win. So it's
Yeah.
really best user win. This is the critical. That title of that book is amazing.
Yes,
Best user
100%.
win. If
Yeah.
you don't need to read that book. Just understand the subject.
Yeah.
Best
Best loser
loser
wins,
win.
100%. I always said nobody beats the market because you see a lot of people who are aiming to get like this high accuracy and high this and high that. They're obsessed with getting high accuracy. But at the same time, there's very few people that I've seen in my career that have high accuracy and then longevity in this line of work. They're all like make a lot of money very quickly, then they either blow up or they do something stupid and you never see them again after 3 months.
Yeah.
And that's the prop industry is
And that will
littered
be the
with
case, by the way. It will be
yeah,
the case forever. I mean, this will not
yeah,
change.
yeah,
Even if we educate more people, we will still have 90% of people are doing that. And this is why
exactly,
prop firms
exactly,
are working. And even
yeah.
Michael Batak is not worrying about people getting better in trading because you will still have 90% of people doing that.
Absolutely. 90%. I would say even more than that, 95 or
Yeah.
97%. And, you know, with the rise of a lot of these, I call them like tabloids trading channels. You know, you have a lot of people who are now all up in the prop drama, right? And that's their claim to fame. They're like, yes, let's talk about what this Muppet did on Twitter and what this. And I'm like, you sound like we over here in the UK we have these tabloid magazines like The Sun and like horrible literally just gossip magazines, and those channels just remind me of that. It's just who said what in the proper. It's like why don't we just get back to actual strategies and trading, and you know how do we make each other better rather than talk about who said what about somebody else. It's like I
Yeah,
just
I
don't
mean,
want to get involved.
in
Yeah.
media, I mean, you cannot. I mean, I already have my enemy in the chart. I have
Inside of me, yes,
fire.
exactly.
Why
Yeah,
I
I don't
create
need
more
another
enemy
one.
outside? I mean, even time. Don't make time your enemy. Don't be
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
Make your time your friend.
yeah,
It should be your friend, not your enemy. Don't say, "Oh, I'm getting old." Ah, you are not getting old, man. I'm 45. I'm still
yeah,
young. I'm still
yeah,
what? I still have another 40 years to trade.
yeah.
Don't make excuses
Yeah, I
that.
joke. I always joke, oh, I'm Granny D, you know, and I do that because I look much younger than my age. So people always think that I'm like 28, maybe like early 30s or something, and they assume that I'm a kid. So I kind of made this whole joke with my community. It's like, oh, Granny D here, you know, because people do get a little bit shocked when they hear how old I am. So for me, it's important to keep tabs on your mental triggers and stuff. And I do believe that some of these channels that we have, they're not really bringing too much value to people. I do hope that they turn that around because some of them are run by really good traders. So it's like, why not share some of that wisdom that you've learned? Like, I think the main issue is that a lot of them can't hold on to any sort of an account past like a month or two. And a lot of people are still learning in the industry, even though they're like, oh, yeah, take payouts. But then you blow out of an XFA, then you get another one. It's just this constant cycle of churn and burn sort of thing, or boom
You
and
have to
bust.
break.
Yeah.
You
So
have to break the cycle.
if you then look at some of the numbers that we know, like I know from like data, because I do mechanical trading systems, I've been through a few prop firms, and I know that people who have accuracy of like 75%, 80%, they do make money, but they don't last. in fact, the ones that I've always seen last are the ones that maintain golden middle. Medium accuracy of sort of between 40 and 60%, and then medium risk reward, because those two are not separate components. They're like on a seesaw. They have to be in a balance. So they either have like 1.5, 1.3, up to like 2.3 R and it's like, yeah, let's learn something from that. That, you know, you don't have to be this extreme end of the spectrum, either high accuracy and negative risk reward, or low accuracy of 30% and super high risk reward. It's like neither of those works in intraday. You have to find a golden middle where the numbers are sustainable enough to have enough sort of chaos in them. So, you know, over long enough sample size, not just like 1 week or 2 days. You have to have a sample really of about, I mean, the more you trade per day, the bigger the sample needs to be. But let's say between 1,000 to 10,000 trades over a period of 3 to 9 months. That's a good sample, right?
Yeah, and
That's
the market is changing during that time.
That's why. Because you have to see whether your consistency that you are exhibiting in this market environment is going to last through low volatility, high volatility, Trump tariffs, you know, normal times, Christmas period.
Trending market, ranging market.
Yeah. Just having it in like, oh yeah, over summertime I do really good, or I did great during tariffs. Yeah, everybody did great during tariffs. It's like everything was moving like crazy, and if you couldn't take advantage of that, I would then ask yourself a different question. You know?
If a monkey bought on during COVID, he will make money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't need skill. The momentum would forgive a lot of the crappy technical analysis and
a lot of
entries.
people, by the way, after COVID, they think they are crushing it. You know, they realize later on that they have learned nothing.
They're not. Yeah, volatility seduces highly average traders into thinking they're gods. This is the problem. And then the volatility goes away, and all of the little problems that they might have with execution or mistiming things, they are massively amplified. So I prefer to assess traders in a quieter environment. So it's much more exposing to you know, having to sit through something that is not moving a million miles an hour, and like, how do you deal with that psychologically? It's much easier. So every time somebody comes to me and goes, oh, I have a you know, I started tracking my journaling, and I said, okay, well, how big are your sample sizes? And they're like, oh yeah, no, it's just 2 days, you know, and then 3 days for an XFA, maybe 2 weeks for it. And I'm like, but what can you possibly glean out of that? And then they only take the ones where they were successful. They don't take, like, that's the funniest thing. They don't take the ones where they suck. And I'm like, well, that's your system as well. Like, you need to expose what went wrong. I don't want to see your numbers, you know. And it's so funny how they work with like blinkers, like horses, you know. Oh, I have 75% accuracy. Okay. Over what period? A week. Okay. What about the times when you blew up your combines and XFAs and everything? Where are those numbers? Oh, I don't have those. It's like,
those are the important ones.
Yeah, it's like that should be in your accuracy. So you don't have 75%. When you add them all up, the bad times, the good times, the sucky times, the explosive times, the really bad times when you effed it up, like to a 10th degree, what is your accuracy? That matters. That's how you find your edge.
Yeah, the point is, to be honest, the point is to have that sample size, and we have those bad numbers. This is the true work. Now you have to minimize those. How to minimize losing trade, how to get into less bad trades, not how to make more good trades. They are coming by themselves, but the point is to look at the bad trades and start eliminating them one by one. You will not get to 100%, of course, but you have to minimize the negative drawdown from your sample size.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, something to think about every time whoever is joining us here. It's really down to your worst moments, and then how you can turn that around. So apparently Rigoberto says that I look my age, don't lie, and I look like a fish from Megamind. Thank you, Rigoberto. Very kind. I don't know who the fish from Megamind is, but I assume it's not very nice. So why do you have to get up and choose to insult people on the internet that you know nothing about? It's like, thank you. They're very great. Anyways, so yeah, what is a YouTube stream on a Tuesday without at least one troll? Mo, thank you so much for being here. We've come to the end. Hopefully we can do this again.
I really enjoy it. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
I loved having you here. Usually it's just me, or, very rarely do I have people on because most of the time everybody's asleep at this time. But yeah, I would love to have you on whenever you're able to. I know that you have your job as well. So yeah.
Next time I get sick.
Yeah, oh no. No, well, hopefully I can
No.
get you when you're not sick, and we're both like, really
Sure.
on the top of our game. Right. Any last words for our traders here? Words of wisdom, or
Thank you very
even
much.
just how they should approach this week? What are you expecting? All that good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dee, for this nice invitation. I would love to be with you anytime you call me. I will arrange it. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
And for the traders, for the chat, be careful. Today is Monday, not Tuesday. It's the
It's
beginning
Monday.
of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, the market is not going anywhere. Don't rush on it. Try to sit alone and say to yourself, what is working with me, what is not working with me. Don't care about, okay, I hear this from this guy, I love this guy, so I have to follow what he's saying. No, it's not about him. Even if you learn something from me, it's not working with you, stop doing it. Stop doing. Maybe it's work with me, not work with you. So stay neutralized. Don't be biased with anyone. If this is working with you, do it. If it is not, see why it's not. Is it because something wrong you're doing, or something that you can fix? Or forget about it. Maybe Fibonacci is nothing. Maybe Fibonacci is a lie. You don't believe on Fibonacci. Don't use it. Okay,
You need a
so
poster
that's
now.
my advice.
Fibonacci is a lie.
Yeah, if you don't believe it, it will never
Yeah.
work for you.
Yeah, because you won't have enough belief to execute a
Exactly.
trade. So
The
it
whole
doesn't
point is
matter,
to
right?
trust,
Yeah.
what you are doing. You have to have to confident of you are doing. If you are doing something, even if you are a thief, okay, if you are a thief, and you don't believe on the cause of stealing that bank, you will get caught.
And on that note, thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you very
Mo,
much.
thank you so much for being here. This was the Euro Trade. I'm Dee. This was Mo, and we will see you very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.